1995. There was a trumpet professor named Dell Lyron, and Catherine Roach Wallace was here at that point. Catherine and Dell and I started talking about putting a group together that would play, that would be a scholarship group that would play at our church and other places.
The purpose of the group is that our brass students audition and work in chamber music one on a part. So it's 2 trumpets, French horn, trombone, tuba. Even though there's 2 trumpets, it's one on a part. And we've noticed that through chamber music, the musical growth that has been achieved has been phenomenal.
I think the experience of playing chamber music is really an important part of any musician's development, and certainly for a brass player. And so I think it's really neat for these 5 students to work together on a very regular basis and learn, how to play together personally. And chamber music allows them to really make the musical decisions more themselves rather than relying on a teacher or a conductor to make those decisions for them.
With the kind of music we play, there's certain portions of certain songs where we have to be looking around, looking at each other, seeing if we're still staying on top of the beat, maybe. Not because we don't have a conductor, but we're all one conductor. We're all checking on each other. We're seeing if we can recover. We're seeing where we're at. We're kind of communicating with each other with just our eyes most of the time.
I've been at Echelon for about a year and a half now. Something I've gotten musically out of Echelon is independence. Really understanding the independence of your line in music and understanding how it contributes to the greater whole.
I started Echelon when we auditioned in August. My favorite part about it is just that we all get along really well. We're able to really communicate with each other and connect well. It's helped me to deal with a small group, and I can more effectively play in a big group that way.
Echelon has definitely helped me more on the technical side of being a musician. Obviously, with a small group like that, you have to be really tight socially, but I think more than anything, Echelon has helped me with my technicality in playing, because you have to be prepared with your part. And so it's very much made me better technically.
So students really get a lot from chamber music, and the primary reason I think it's the most important is this is mostly what professional musicians actually do when they get out into the world. There's not many of us that actually get to play with a full-on symphony or concert band on a regular basis. So most of it's going to be brass quintet playing or quartet playing, that sort of thing. So this experience is really important to know what that's going to be like. I also think it's really important because, again, students are in charge of their own learning, which is very much like being a professional musician. If you want to have the gig, you got to be able to put the music together and do that on your own. And Echelon Brass Quintet has the opportunity to actually practice those skills.
One of the times they played comes to mind. It was an Easter Sunday. We played an arrangement of a hymn called Lift High the Cross, and a gentleman in church who has since died came up to me, and he could barely speak. He was so moved at how wonderful the singing and the brass accompaniment was to that hymn on Easter Sunday, and he said, "I've never had anything move me like that ever."
I think the Echelon Brass Quintet is one of the great resources that we have at the UL School of Music. I think it's something that I wish all our brass players could participate in. And the fundamental idea of increasing your musical skills through chamber music is something that the brass faculty want to instill in our students, and it's also something that we want to instill in ourselves. And so that's why we're so committed to the Echelon Brass Quintet and to this chamber music in general.